This is a picture of an old store. Notice that the merchandise is kept behind the counter. It was not accessible for customers to get a hold of. They had to get it from the clerk had to get the merchandise for them and check them out.
Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, and the Other. And sometimes I wonder if maybe stores need to revert back to that way. I know that's never going to happen, but with all the shoplifting that happens, it makes me wonder sometimes if that might be a better option. But it's prompted me to do a little research on how the self-serve stores got started in the first place. And from what I was able to find, Piggly Wiggly was the first one to do it on September 6th, 1916. It was founded by Clarence Saunders in Memphis, Tennessee. But the store actually opened 5 years, I'm not 5 years, but 5 days later due to delays in construction. At the time, grocery stores did not allow customers to gather their goods. Instead, a customer would give a list of items to a clerk who would then collect them throughout the store. Piggly Wiggly introduced the innovation by allowing customers to go through the store gathering their goods. Losses that happened were offset by profits. Losses from shoplifting. Self-serve stores were patented by Saunders in 1917. The customers would enter through a turnstile to 4 aisles to view 605 items and packages. So I guess with the turnstiles, it made it a little more difficult for people to steal multiple items. I'm sure people were still sneaking things in their pockets, and you didn't back then. You didn't have the cameras like you do now, or the things that they put on the stickers they put on the items where on like more expensive items where if a person goes out the door with it, alarm goes off. They didn't have anything like that back then. Anyway, in 1937, shopping carts were introduced in their Oklahoma branch. Also, first to use POS lanes for payment, point of sales lanes. Other retailers started changing. Grocery retail started changing to self-service 1920s and 1930s. At the company's peak in 1932, it operated 2,660 stores. And I'm going to have to read this off the internet. November 1922, Saunders attempted to squeeze on the substantial short interest in the stock by running the share price up from 40 to 120 and profiting by millions on paper. Stock exchange governors responded by deciding that a corner had been established in Piggly Wiggly and removed the stock from the board. It eventually forced Saunders to turn over his assets to banks that had financed his leveraged position. He reputedly lost $9 million in the attempted corner. After these events, the company was divided into strategic units, which were sold to regional grocery chains such as Kroger, Safeway, National Tea, and Colonial. 1935, all 179 Canadian Piggly Wiggly stores were sold to Canadian Safeway division, which merged with Sobeys in 2013. Prior to this, 3 stores in Texas were sold to the emerging H-E-B in 1927. After losing control of Piggly Wiggly, Saunders had no further association with the company. However, he remained interested in automated shopping, which he experimented initially with the Cadoozle store until he died in 1953. Question came out to Saunders about how the name came about, Piggly Wiggly came about, and he was reluctant to explain the origin of the company's name. One story recounts that while riding a train, he looked out his window and saw several pigs struggling to get under a fence, which prompted him to think of the rhyme. Someone once asked him why he'd chosen such an unusual name for his organization, to which he replied, "So people will ask that very question." American artist George Condo painted the Piggly Wiggly logo as part of his Memphis series. So that was basically what I was able to get out on the history of Piggly Wiggly. As of 2024, Piggly Wiggly operates 503 independently owned stores across 18 states, primarily in smaller cities and towns. Yes, there aren't any Piggly Wigglies in Northern Virginia, but I have seen them throughout the South and traveling. It has been many years since I've been in a Piggly Wiggly, but it says it's headquartered now in Keene, New Hampshire. But anyway, that's what I was able to find out on self-serve stores, and getting closer to making 800 shows, looking to get to that 800 mark. Need some help with ideas on shows to do in the future. Like I said, my show is about preserving history, especially obscure aspects of history. With that being said, like, subscribe, share. As always, thanks for watching.